Yo, what is good everybody? It's your boy Tej, and today I'm be showing y'all how to make a pain beat for NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk. This beat is inspired by a couple beats off of NBA YoungBoy's two recent projects, Sincerely Cantrell and From the Bayou, and maybe a couple of the pain beats that like Lil Durk has used. For example, Viral Moment and All Love. I made the entire beat from scratch, so I'm gonna be showing y'all my entire process of making the sample and adding drums to it. I wanted to let y'all know that I just dropped my 2021 compilation sample pack. It includes over 150 unique loops. I'll leave a link in the description, so be sure to go check that out. As always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy these type of videos, be sure to hit subscribe, and I'll have the full finished beat played at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around for that. And with all that out of the way, let's just hop right into the beat. So before I hop into the sample, I'm gonna play y'all a quick preview of it. The tempo that I ended up choosing was 178. Usually for these type of beats, you want to go with higher tempos. All right, so hopping into the first melody sound, I got this LA Custom grand piano preset here, and I went into the MIDI and I just placed out these three chords in E minor. So I just built the chords off of the basic E minor triad and then using the D major triad and moving the D up an octave. And for the last chord, I just used C major. I pretty much just copied those exact same chords for the second half of the pattern, except I had it going in reverse order. The extra note I added in the first chord was just an octave of the last note, and then this one was the seventh note in the scale relative to C. And then I just took the bass notes of all those chords and I just put it down here just to make the chords sound like they have a little more depth to them. And so I threw that first piano sound into a mixer track, and I just put this EQ on it just to cut out some of the bassier frequencies and maybe some of the the key noise and the harsher noises and like the low mids. I took the same piano preset and cloned it into a new channel, and I put in these high notes here. To get that signature kind of NBA YoungBoy piano sound, you want to start by getting like a real short note and lowering the velocity here, almost as if you're rolling it up into the first note when you introduce it. What you want to do is you want to move the note one half step below the actual note itself. Typically these notes will actually fall outside of the scale that you're working with, but usually that's the type of sound that YoungBoy's producers usually go for. So if I were to put that note in key, it would sound something like this. If I put it one half step below, it's really subtle. It definitely adds an element to it that makes it sound kind of signature to some of YoungBoy's beats. And I just penciled in notes that I thought sounded good, and I somewhat used the E minor scale for this. For effects on that, I put a low pass EQ on it, another EQ to cut out some of those harsher mid and low mid frequencies, and I put a reverb on it and turned the wet up and the decay up a little bit. For my third melody preset, I went into Trillion and I got this Martin bass guitar preset, and for the bass pattern, I just copied those same bass notes from the chords and just kind of added a couple accent notes here and just chopped up the notes where I thought they sounded good. Then I added an instance of vocal runs too, and I got this minor Vox kit, and I put these couple vocal chops in. For effects on the vocal chops, I put the Venue reverb preset and adjusted a couple of these knobs here, and I put a default love filter on it. Lastly, I added this guitar sound from my drum kit. After that, I rendered all those out as audio clips, arranged the loop, and I stemmed it out and put it into a new FLP. Now we're in the new project file, and in here I arranged the melody using the stems, and I finished adding the drums and mixing it and all that. And for the automation on the top, what I did is I went into the sample here, I selected Stretch Pro right here, and then I went to the format knob and I right clicked on it, hit create automation clip. At the beginning for the intro, I kind of just made the format swell in, so that sounds something like this. So hopping into the first drum sound that I have, I added this clap right here. And it's a pretty simple clap pattern. I just put it on the third beat of every measure. And for the fourth and eighth measures, I put this accent clap here on the end of the first beat and turned the velocity down a little bit. And then I went in and put a hi-hat pattern, and for this, I didn't want the hi-hats to sound too crowded, so I kind of refrained from keeping like a two-step pattern. And if I did have two hi-hats playing in a row, I staggered the velocity so that they didn't both sound too loud, and I just added a couple rolls using the 1/2 step snap setting. And I put some effect tricks on those. I used the 1/8 tempo setting, and these were the effects that I put on it. And then next I added a couple snare patterns. The first being this one, I just used this snare. I put it on the off beats here, and I just added a couple rolls. The second one being this, and it's more of like a perk, and I just added a little roll here at the end. And then next I added this rim perk here. And then added an open out sound and kept it pretty basic, just put it on the second beat of each even measure. And then lastly, I just added my 808 pattern. I kept it pretty simple. I just followed the same notes that I had from the chords and the piano. So that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit subscribe. Leave any recommendations or feedback you might have in the comments below. Again, the 2021 loop kit is in the description. Be sure to go check it out. And that'll be it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Why don't you run with us, Tash?